So our group had this idea that the 100th anniversary of the hospital being on Lexington Avenue was coming up. Although the history dates back much further, it goes back to 1899, but it wasn't until 1917 when the hospital located on its current location at the corner of Lexington and 22nd Street. So we wanted to commemorate that somehow, and we thought, what better way than to work that into our television campaign for the coming year.
A lot goes into making a commercial like this, and everything you see on the screen is something that has to be created or recreated. So one of the challenges was to figure out what specific time periods we really wanted to showcase. And we started by looking at the historical past of King's Daughters and through a lot of historical photographs. And then we figured out, well, what would be an interesting time period to recreate? And we settled on the 1917, 1918 time period, the 1940s where we have the operating room scene, the 1960s where we have a clinical scene between a doctor and a patient, and then ultimately the 1980s where we just had a little bit of fun with all of the color and the crazy clothes and things. One of the things that we've heard throughout this commercial from the King's Daughters team is that this is one of the more fun spots that they've had a chance to work on. We all reminisce about days gone by, and we tend to idealize it and look at some of the simplicity of it and some of the charm of it. Also, you know, at the end of the day, everyone enjoys getting to play dress up now and then, and the opportunity to bring current King's Daughters employees in on set to be a part of the commercial and getting them attired in what people would have worn, you know, in whatever decade we're highlighting has been a lot of fun. One of the things that surprises people is when they learn that all of this has been done locally, right here in the tri-state area. Many times to produce a commercial like this, you know, companies would go to California, you know, maybe Chicago, New York, but one of the mandates that King's Daughters had was we want to do this locally, and we want to use as many local people and as many local resources as possible. As someone who's from this area, I completely support that, and I think it's great, and we've really adhered to that. So everything you're seeing was shot locally. Many of the crew are local people, you know, from going to Lowe's and Russell to get building supplies to sourcing antiques, you know, from Ironton, whatever it is. We've really tried to concentrate on making this a product of local people working locally to make something really special, and I think we pulled that off. People are often very surprised when they learn just how much work goes into making a commercial like this. And the thing that surprises people is that, you know, we basically start with a blank page. It all begins with a thought, a vision about what we're going to make, and then we have to go make it. Everything you see in a cabinet, there's someone with a job to place that there, to make it look like it would actually have looked in the actual time period. Going all the way to costumes, where you need to look at fabrics and textures. Same goes for lighting. Everything is lit by a team of people who are thinking about all the subtleties about which direction light is coming from. What are we highlighting? What are we not highlighting? You know, is there a part of the set where we don't want people's attention to be drawn to? Are there other things where we definitely do want people to focus on them? So a lot goes into the thought process behind what you actually see in that lens.
A century ago, King's Daughters Hospital opened its first building on a new campus in Ashland, Kentucky. Over the decades, we've strived to bring the best treatment and technology to Ashland, combined with compassion and a personal touch. No matter the year, we've been here through the good times and the bad, taking care of generations of your family, friends, and neighbors. King's Daughters, celebrating a century of world-class care in our hometown.